Hey guys, welcome back to We Care a Lot. I'm half the podcast, Sam.
I'm the other half, Mel.
Hello. Today we're hitting you with a sad little topic. And I have to warn you just right out the gate, because the month of love was supposed to be really positive, really happy. But, you know, love isn't always positive and happy, and that's okay. So we just want to touch on it a little bit. Just one little good episode where we talk about how lonely it can be sometimes.
Yeah. I guess also maybe we should say not love.
I see where you're going with that.
Yeah. Like maybe being in like the wrong relationship
Can be lonely.
can be lonely.
Yeah. What you might think is love in the moment.
Go listen to Infatuation versus...
Literally, infatuation versus love.
But yeah. I think I personally want to preface that for myself is like, I don't know that those situations were love for me. Maybe that's how I want to
It's
start.
so tough to think back. We should start with that. Like, looking back, it was what I thought love was at the time. And I think some people have loved their exes. I don't think it's that. You know, it's not that an ex
can't be somebody
you
loved.
loved. Right.
I think that, though, it's more about
What transpired.
if you were in a toxic relationship, you could have love for a person, but the treatment and the level of disrespect or uncertainty that you felt from someone, there's no, in my opinion, and I'm sorry if you believe something differently, genuinely, but from my opinion and my experience, there's no way that somebody
Loved me
that way. I won't accept it as being loved in that way.
I mean, that's fair. I agree.
Yeah. So that's why I say in a relationship that made me feel the most lonely I could have ever felt.
Yeah, I think that's the sentiment, is just that you think single people are so lonely, and which, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong.
It can't be.
Being single is lonely. She is that girl. But the loneliest I've actually ever felt is when I'm in a relationship with the wrong person.
Right.
Because it's just, there's so many more layers. I don't know if it's like the way female friendship, you know, naturally just works, is that we kind of hide things from each other sometimes when it makes more sense in our own heads. Like, she don't need to know about that. Like, my friends don't need to know that he did that one thing because he apologized.
All of a sudden I'm like,
triggered.
so much coming up.
But truly, like, and sometimes it's valid. Yeah, your fucking friends don't need to know every single little thing that they do wrong, because you don't want your friends to dislike your partner.
Yeah.
But there's also the, like, okay, like, you're just, like, keeping secrets. Therefore, now you're dealing with all these things alone. You're not telling your friends. You're not telling your family. It's literally just you and this person, which might feel at first like love and like it's you and me against the world, but
it's you and me against the world.
It's literally you and me against the world, babe. And we need a village. Okay, we need the village to be around us.
Now that I think about it, I don't like that sentiment. Me and you against the world. That sounds so bad.
Like, it takes a village for a fucking reason.
Yeah.
And it's forever. It takes a village to be a person.
It's also like giving like no one like no one likes what we're doing here, so it's me against the world. Right.
Like,
yeah, it's like
no one supports us.
No one supports us.
Yeah.
And that's not good.
And that's kind of how it felt, I think, in those moments. And not like in a I'm mad at other people for it, which maybe sometimes you could be, right?
Maybe.
But there's so many layers. But I think at the end of the day, that's why it felt so lonely, because it was like, I can't tell the people that I love normally outside of this relationship what's actually going on, because I feel like they'll judge me, or they'll judge him, or they'll judge us and my decision making, and blah, like the list goes on.
And then you just like compile all that onto your own shoulders. Yeah. And that's the lonely part.
But instead, when you're dating and single, like, going through the dating world or whatever, you're kind of like, oh, like, I'm gonna tell them about all these fucking people that are pissing me off or driving me nuts or that I really like. Like, you're just, like, more honest because it's, like, I'm not committed or attached to this person forever. So it's, like, a lot easier to just, be, like, shoot the shit with your friends, I guess.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, the other side of that, if you're in a healthy relationship, there's not really much to shoot the shit over. Like, to be, like, hiding, I guess, from friends and family. Because, like, what is there to hide if we're generally doing well and happy and like like I am being honest about my own personal struggles so I don't feel alone, and I have my partner so I don't feel alone. But when you're with that wrong person, it's just different.
Yeah, I was gonna say similar. Like, it's just, and also I think like when you're in a healthy relationship or when you're like single, being alone is more so a choice. And when you're in a, I mean, it could be a choice too, but like when you're in a bad relationship, it doesn't necessarily feel like it's a choice because you're just like holding on to someone else's baggage for so long that it's like it feels beyond you. Versus like when you're single, you're like, yeah, I'm lonely, but
I'm just dealing with my own problems.
This is just me. I can choose today to like feel differently or go and hang out with some friends, go on a fucking date.
The possibilities feel open too.
There's more there versus like feeling trapped.
Yeah.
And isolated in something that you feel you can never get out of.
Yeah. I really didn't think about it that way, like the trapped aspect. Because you do, when you're single, there is that like beauty of like, oh my God, like I can still marry, you know, the person I dreamt of, whatever. But when you're with someone that is ass, you're like,
you're trying to make that person someone who's a good person. It's like,
you're just stuck, which you don't have to be. But it certainly feels that way when you're going through it. But
the time that I've felt the most alone was probably in like the relationship previous to this one. And I feel like then it was more, it's the same story of like, I didn't, like when really bad things would happen, it's not even that I didn't want anyone else to know necessarily. It was like embarrassment that I like put myself through it. And
like, what would people think of you for doing it? Or like,
or staying.
Yeah.
Or even just like, I wasn't perfect either. Like, I'll be the first one to admit to that. I wasn't the worst person in that relationship, but I wasn't the best. But also, like, I feel like I was triggered to a point that there was no return for me to feel like a good person in that relationship. So, like, I also didn't want to be judged. Like, I felt like if I had to admit to their wrongdoings, I also had to admit to mine. Like, I'm a person who, no longer, but like, I don't really get angry all that much anymore. But in that relationship, like, I could have easily been very much like, almost at the point of like physically abusing someone because I was so upset all the time. And that's really hard for me to admit. But like, also I never did that necessarily. I defended myself once. Yeah. But like, I could have seen that gotten so much worse if I let it go on for too long. Yeah, like I could have become a person who was physically someone who would hurt someone else for the sole purpose of like
expressing your anger.
Needing an outlet.
Yeah.
And that's not cool.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's also why it's so important to acknowledge these feelings of like being alone and being like, okay, something's wrong here. Like, I shouldn't feel the loneliest when I'm with somebody. Else. Whether it's like even like best friends or something. Like, if you feel genuinely still alone when you're with them, it's like there's something there.
There's something wrong.
Yeah. And maybe it's you. Maybe it's you not wanting to open up. Maybe it's them. Maybe it's everything. But I think there's just like reflection that can happen, I guess, before you get to a point where you don't like yourself anymore. Because like
that's the most isolating part of it.
Yeah, you don't want to dislike yourself at the end of the day after already being like, I dislike this person. I feel like I still have skin in the game personally. Like I can still move on from this situation, but I won't leave. Yeah. And there's like a lot, I think, like a lot of older men specifically, I think, have issue with domestic violence and like why women stay, or just like the psychology behind it. Like I think they just don't care to learn why women stay, or like they just can't even.
It feels very like black and white to them.
Yes, they can't even conceptualize the idea that if someone was being mean to them that they would stay. And I'm like, right, that's the point. You don't get it.
It's manipulation.
Like you don't get it. And that's not to say that it's right or wrong, which like maybe we have some opinions about men that are like we see as black and white sometimes because we just don't get men, and this is the fucking way the world goes around. But like, it's truly part of the fucking mentality of forgiving and being the ones that are like, okay, I'll stay, or like, I want to figure this out. Like, you're right, I do empathize with all of these things you have wrong with you, or the cards you've been dealt, when it's really not our fucking problems. Like, I've been dealt cards, you've been dealt cards, we've all been dealt cards. But why is it it
fucking becomes your issue then.
Yeah, why is it my job to fix yours? It's not. And I wish I would have felt that, because I knew it at the time. I for sure knew it in those relationships, but didn't feel like it was like pertained to me. Like, I didn't think it was like,
it's like you think you can come out of it,
right?
Like, it's like, this won't be my statistic.
That's not me.
That's not gonna be me.
Right.
And that, I think that alone is also why you stay, is like,
it's not gonna be me,
because you're like, I'm gonna prove that wrong.
Yeah, the stubbornness.
Yeah. I feel like whenever I think of the last relationship I was in, I feel like there's just like one very specific moment that like I think about all the time that like was kind of like the it point for me, but it wasn't. And like the manipulation was so high, and yet like in that moment I knew like, why are you doing this? This is clearly not right.
Yeah. Do you feel like it was like the devil and the angel on your shoulder? Like, in your own head, whether it's devil, angel, but like just back and forth, like, you shouldn't be in this situation. But then you're like, oh, but like, he's so, like, look at him, he's trying, or like, whatever. The thing in your head that's his advocate.
It's just, I literally don't even, like, I'm trying to think back on like what my brain space was like, because like, I remember feeling in the moment so upset, so disgusted, so angry. And just being like, you're fucking being so manipulative and so weird.
It's literally, we're like, none of this is positive.
Like, I clearly am repelled by you.
I think it's just defeat. I think we're so tired. It was like, I don't have the energy to leave.
Yeah.
And it was just like, okay.
No, I genuinely, and he had to do it for me.
Yeah.
Literally, thank you for cheating on me.
I mean, he didn't do it though. I mean, you still were the one that was
like that was my boundary that he knew not to cross, and he did it.
Yeah.
So thank you for giving me my out.
What did the Drake caption? I said, I hate you, but thank you, or what is it? Drake had a caption recently. You should go check it out.
Go check it out. He's literally a content king right now.
Oh my god, not a content king.
He's giving get ready with me's and lately
nighttime routine,
other things as well. Lately,
oh my god,
on his OF shit, it seems like. Anyway, we're getting off topic, but
right,
yeah, like I just like, it's very hard for me to like think about why the fuck did I say, but I think that's a good answer to that, is like, I genuinely did not have the energy to do anything else. Like, leaving felt like too much to explain to this fucking awful person, and like staying felt like I can have my own.
I can still control certain
I can
things.
control it.
Which, like, even, like, looking back on myself, like, only thinking of me staying, not anyone else, but, like, how I feel about me, I feel like, wow, why was I so weak? In that, like, looking back on myself.
That's how I feel.
And I'm like, I don't think that about you or anyone else. And it's me. I'm like,
The thing is, you think that about yourself and not other people because you understand the psychology of like the fact that you did stay. Yeah. So you don't say that about other people because you're like, that's really rude.
Yeah.
But also like,
but babe,
why did you motherfucking stay?
Well, because it's just like, I do, in the moment you have that internal battle of like, do I raise this argument to, because you're not ready to leave, genuinely, I think. Like, that's also the part. Like, you're not there for whatever fucking reason.
I'm also like, we spent so much time and fucking effort on this motherfucker.
I know.
Like,
It's like I've already dreamed so big about
my
you.
investments are gonna go to shit.
I think that's it too. And like the attachment of other people in their lives or the plans of the future.
Yeah.
That's always what people say, like, oh, but we're going camping in a week. I'm like, fuck camping in a week. What do you mean? Like, who cares? But like, I know how it feels in that moment. Like, even blocking someone that was bad for me, it's like, that took me months.
Yeah.
Even though I consciously knew, but emotionally, I also knew I couldn't do it. And I had to work through that by myself. I had to uncover why it was so hard for me to block somebody. And like, it really shouldn't be that deep. And for some people, you might be like, girl, you're
get it done.
so annoying. Like, grow up, block him. But I don't know if it's the people pleaser in me. I mean, I know there's a lot of things why I didn't do it. But like, it's okay, I guess. Like, I feel like there's a lot of shame around some of these like conversations that Mel and I have and like how exes treated us. And I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I'm like, that is on the internet. Mel and I are just putting ourselves on blast and how we let men treat us, or laughing at men and making fun of them, and someone can take that like snippet and be like, oh, they're fucking men haters or what, like whatever. They can make they can make us into somebody we're not out of things that we've said or emotions we felt. And I'm like, you've all felt these things. You've all said things and like gone through things that you're not proud of or whatever. So what? Like, I don't know. It's just like, if this can help someone feel like less alone in the fact that maybe they're making a bad decision, hopefully not a life-threatening decision, but like, you feel a little shame for staying with that person.
Yeah.
And I don't want you to feel like, oh my God, everyone's telling me I need to leave. Like, yeah, I probably agree with them. You should leave them. But also I know what it's like to be inside that person's head.
And you might need your own time.
Yeah. And you just gotta support the people that need it and try not to be awful. Like, I mean, obviously express some concern. Don't just be that friend that's like, fuck it, let's party. Like, I don't know. But like, there's just a balance, I think, of understanding where people are at.
I think with that, though, it's like, in this terms of speaking about feeling alone, like that person already feels really fucking alone.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
isolated. And the moment that you express something in a way that's not
like asking
helpful.
For help a little. They were asking for help.
Yeah.
You.
Yeah. Like if you're expressing something in return that's not actually helpful. And I get it. You might think like telling them how you truly feel and that they should leave this person in obviously more explicit ways, like that isn't always helpful for the person. I think it's the support of like knowing that they have you whether or not,
whatever choice they make.
Yeah, it's like that's going to make them feel less alone, and in turn feel more in control.
And like what they say is, the more empowered they feel,
the more that likely they're going to leave.
Yeah. So if they feel like they have a support system, you're more like, and I can feel that. Like if I had no friends or family supporting me, I get it. That's your person. They've convinced you like that they're the ones that are going to support you, help you through life, whatever they're promising you. But with the support of friends and family, you're like, wait a minute.
There's other people here.
Yeah. Like I don't have to literally rely on you. Also, like I can rely on me. And like that's the empowerment piece of like, you don't even have to tell them like, I'm here for you always. I'm here. Just be like, you're such a bad bitch. Like I love how hard you work. I love that. Like just complimenting them on things they do by themselves is empowering. But that's the lonely piece of like, just you're forcing that person to feel even lonelier, which I can't even imagine having felt lonelier than I did.
Than you did.
Even though I had friends, I just was isolating myself, which like is not any of our friends' faults for like us pushing them away. But there's like just nothing. I don't even know. Like
it's so interesting though, because I feel like I felt lonely, but I don't know that I understood what the feeling of that was like and like the gravity of it all, because like I was still hanging out with friends.
You're like, what do you mean I am independent or whatever?
Yeah, and I mean I was, but then I feel like that's also some of the reasons that like when the time came of like you're cheating on me, to be fair, I tiptoed in like, maybe we could get over this.
Oh no.
And then when it was like a very definite thing of like it was in multiple ways that was like the cheating happened, I definitely was like, okay, I can't take this, like this is not it. But yeah, like having even just like hanging out with other people at the time, I think was very helpful. But it when I look back though, I was still very lonely, even though I had people around me, with or without him. Because we had a similar friend group that like all hung out together. Those were the times where I felt most free, because I was like, other people are around me. If something happens that's awful, like I have proof.
Yeah.
But like, anyway, I don't think I understood how lonely it was until being outside of it, because I remember like my very best friend, like not being able to tell her, or even I saw you every day. I didn't tell you the things that like happened. And then the minute that I did say them out loud, I was just like, that's crazy. Like, I knew they were crazy, but then to say them out loud to another person and see their reactions, or like, it was just another level of like, that's
like how isolated
too much. Yeah, like you should have told somebody.
Yeah.
And I kept that shit for a long time. So and I think it didn't even say it until the very end of the relationship.
I feel like isolating too is like the only person that's really helping is them, like the person that's you're in a relationship with.
Absolutely.
Like, it's not helping you. I mean, sure, in the short term it feels that way. It's like, I don't have to explain myself, I don't have to like explain the situation and like make them look good. Yeah. But also, I mean, even like I think back to like when one of my boyfriends cheated, or suspected in Vegas cheated, and we literally for I think a week you were like talking to me about it, and like we just went through the motions of like, but this, but that, but this, but that, and at least I wasn't doing that alone.
Yeah.
And like, not to say I wasn't alone in that relationship still once I took him back, but like still knowing that like I do have friends that are gonna accept my choices, I guess, regardless, and knowing the facts, at least the amount of facts I gave them at that time. And like going forward, I for sure kept things in the dark in the moment, because it just like, sometimes you just don't want to explain yourself. Like, you find something out, like let's say when I saw nudes on my boyfriend's phone of someone else, I'm not going to text Mel and Logan and be like, look at all this stuff I found. Oh my God, I'm having a bad, like, why am I going to dump that on them?
Because to you in that moment, it's like, I'm having a bad day with him.
And also just like, what, once I say it, then
you have to deal with
and
this.
I have to circle back to you and tell you what happened, even, you know?
It's a lot of energy to be had.
More than just that person, you're putting that energy. So that's why we wait until the end, or until something's resolved.
Yeah. Or to, the final decision of what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of the time. Which, like, I get, because on that side of the energy drainingness of explaining
it's all the energy you have.
It's like, I have nothing to give. All I can do is give it to him. Like, I got nothing.
Yeah. And that's the part that's super isolating as well. Oh my God. Yeah. I'm thinking back on that moment when we were going through the back and forth.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was helpful for me to be like, it's really up to you.
Even though you wanted
Even
me
though
not to.
I really, really didn't want you to.
Yeah.
Even then, like, being on the other side of it, like, as your friend, I was just like, I just really don't want this person to
do something again.
To do something again and have her question her reality, quite honestly. Like, that's the worst part, is like questioning whether or not something is real in your life, because then you just spiral about the rest of the relationship and whether or not that was real.
Yeah. And
you know what? People are fucking complex human beings, and one thing can be real and so can the other. I'm not gonna knock what he necessarily, like, quote unquote felt for you, but it was just like, clearly the disrespect was...
that's the thing when, like, we're talking about love, right? At the beginning, that you wouldn't treat someone that way if you love them. And you wouldn't. But I'm also like, I can't undervalue what someone else felt. Or how I felt at the time.
I think there's levels of, you can make mistakes. And like,
still love somebody.
And still love someone. Life happens, shit's difficult, you make stupid decisions, and a lot of that's emotional based.
Yeah.
I think it's just like,
I think some people just aren't at the capacity of giving love the way we think it should be.
The way that...
Or the way that people can give.
That's also the part,
because we know. I have proof. Okay, if I had no proof that love could be given in this way, I'd be like, I don't know, you guys, we might need to settle.
But that's also like, they're giving their version of what they know.
The capacity of love.
The capacity of love that they know.
Yeah.
But that's not love to me. So.
Right. I agree. It's just hard to say.
So is love objective or subjective?
Girl. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I can understand and empathize with a person like the people we dated.
Yeah.
Which is why we stayed.
Right.
Maybe.
Which is maybe our problem.
Maybe the issue. But I think like with the level of growth that we've had, it's just like that level of what you consider love is no longer acceptable to me.
It was heavy infatuation. Like
That's...
what we look back on and are like, oh my god, he's so like obsessed with me. It's like, yeah, he was obsessed with you. Like the idea was fun.
The idea was fun.
Every time the idea was fun, but you and what your feelings are and what you care about and what your interests are and like showing any interest in any of that, minimal. Like,
yeah.
Also, I will say another like random, I think like moving forward to avoid ever feeling that way in a relationship ever again, there's a lot of moving parts to that, right? Like it's not just like this one answer that's like,
no,
all you have to do.
Listen up.
Like fucking, I don't know. I wish I had a one answer.
Playbook.
But this made me think about how he treats his friends. I feel like that was a big one for me because he treated his family like well, like loved them, cared about them, showed interest in the things, blah blah blah, whatever. But friends, it was very much like either he didn't have any, one relationship, or in another, it was very much like, yeah, fuck him. Like I don't really care about his time. And I was like,
weird.
That's your friend. Like, it's just how men... And that was my first experience of, like, men and friendship. Men. Right. But thinking about it now, I'm like, I don't think that's, like...
That's not every man.
That's not the type of man I want to have, how he treats his friends.
He has good connections and relationships with people.
And he never says fuck them to people he cares about. Unless it's obviously, like, a joke and we're fucking around, right? But
I mean, actually, same.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say on the other end, some of these people I dated cared too much about their friends and not enough about me.
It was more like, fuck that.
Fuck this.
Yeah.
I'm going to go hang out. I'm going with the homies. Or like...
Yeah.
Yeah. I need to always be around my guys also.
Yeah. It's hard because I think like living through that day to day is you're always going to make an excuse or an exception for them. And that's how it starts getting lonelier and lonelier and lonelier because you're just like, oh, it wasn't that big of a deal.
And I can think back, like our experiences were different, but similar in the feelings because like the first person, the person before this last person for each of us, one of them did have friends, but it was like, I was a secret. So like I never hung around other people, right?
Shady.
With him.
Right.
Not you weren't a secret, but you also didn't hang around with him and other people very much.
Yeah.
So when you did get to the next part of a different relationship after that was surrounded with people and this partner, you're like, oh, things can be fun. This person's lively. Mm-hmm. He's like someone who
charismatic.
He's charismatic. He loves to be around others.
Yeah.
But you're a little too much about it.
Yeah, you're on the other side of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's always what ends up happening. You leave a toxic relationship.
And you find someone exact opposite of toxic.
Exact opposite. What is that? There needs to be science. Someone do a study.
The science is that's how you learn. For you to learn.
So like it should only take 2, you guys. You find one, you just live with what they got, and then next one, oh, you're the exact opposite for sure.
Listen, if you're lucky. If you're lucky,
I wasn't. I mean, no boyfriends. No official.
What do you mean? You don't know yet. You might have been lucky.
Boyfriend-wise.
Yeah.
Dating people not seriously, but like just people I've dated.
Listen, I date
across the board.
A lot of in between people in between those two, but like
no commitments.
No commitments.
So, dude, who am I gonna commit to next? No, but literally, let's imagine him. Everybody manifest.
She's using this platform to manifest.
Imagine. Hey, it might fucking work, and then y'all are all invited to the wedding. Okay? I'll figure it out. But I never want to be in a lonely fucking relationship ever again. And if I have those feelings, I say it now. I probably said it right before the fucking second boyfriend, but if I ever even get an inkling of those feelings, I want to leave. I'm telling myself, you're gonna leave. But it's also, I know how you are when you're in that fucking moment, but I'm also like, you've grown so much.
Yeah.
Fear.
I'm also wondering if, like, loneliness looks, because we have very specific views of what that looked like, but I wonder if it looked different for somebody else who, like, wasn't in a bad relationship.
Yeah.
And felt lonely.
I mean, I think...
Like, was it because it was average, or was it because, like, you had a lot of your own shit to deal with?
Yeah, there's layers.
There's layers to it.
It could also just be we're not compatible.
Yeah.
Like, we just don't want to do the same things. We don't like the same things. But I care about you. And that's the one that we're like, you could genuinely have loved that person. But
it doesn't need to... it's not compatible.
There's no lifelong...
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, random thought. Like, old people that have been together. Like, okay, Tish was talking about her parents, right? Mm-hmm. Knew each other Monday, got married Friday, whatever. Tish Cyrus, sorry. No one knows. No one's following Miley Cyrus's mom. Her... parents got married after a week of knowing each other, and they're actually happily married
for 30 years until he died.
Long.
30 years until he died.
She was like 50 or 60 or something when he died, which is so young.
Yeah, she lost the love of her life like
young, and then never dated anyone ever. I'm like, is this generational? Is this true love? What's going on here?
Yeah,
I don't know, but also, what is true love to that generation? Like, is it a little bit of cheating okay? You know what I mean?
I think so.
Oh. I don't like that, but good for them.
Good for them.
They were able to move on, maybe. I hope. Maybe not.
I think there's a lot of layers there.
Yeah. But
also, like, not to say that... I don't know. I'm not going to say nothing, dude. I don't know. I don't know enough about anyone else's relationship. I just feel like you can get... My
Beyonce.
biggest thing...
Beyonce and Jay-Z, guys.
That's a fumble, but
no.
I'm just gonna say that.
Imagine Beyonce with someone else.
I wouldn't know who. Let me know who. The way he embarrassed her. Anyway,
LeBron.
Let's move on. Oh, LeBron.
Did
you see that Kim K's dating Odom?
Lamar?
No, not Lamar Odom. What the fuck?
Who?
Why the fuck can't I say his name right now?
Player?
Odell Beckham Jr. Sorry, I could not think of his name.
Odell Beckham Jr.?
Yeah, they're dating. Anyway, I'm getting off fucking topic, dude. Okay. He's like almost 40. What was I saying?
You don't know.
Anyway, cheating thing. Like, I think that it's possible to get through it. I just think, like, there needs to be very adult conversations to be had. And forgiveness needs to be actualized. Because if not, there's no way it's going to move forward. No way.
Yes, I agree. But I think there's also more. Like, therapy, obviously.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Very adult conversations need to happen. I think, like, there's a lot of work to be done.
And I don't think it's
always worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, when is it worth it? I guess kids, for sure, is, like, a one factor.
I think...
But also, like, are we happy in general? Or have we been happy in general? Would we be happy in the future? Mm-hmm. Is there even potential for us to be happy?
It's like, was this a fleeting moment? Mm-hmm. Is this something that you...
What was I watching? I was watching some... Okay, I'm not going to say what it was, so I don't want to ruin it for anybody. But there was this movie...
A movie. Okay.
Yeah, there's a movie, they're married. He kisses the neighbor, but then immediately after he kisses the neighbor, he, like, goes back to his wife, and he's like, no, he doesn't tell her that he kissed the neighbor. But he goes back to her and he says, no, I need you and I need our daughter. And we are, because he was mad at her for something. So he kind of kissed this other woman out of like
spite or like
a little,
of like
just like lots going on.
Yeah.
He goes back to his wife and he's like, no, I'm fucking in love with you and I need you in my life. So I'm like, I was literally thinking like, would I want to know? Like, would I want to know that he kissed the neighbor?
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't, right? No. I'm not putting that in the universe because I don't need that happening to me. But
I think that's like...
It's like I couldn't get over it, but also I understand that it's fleeting.
Yeah. And I get that that's like technically cheating. It really is.
Right, it is.
But I think like... and this is why I'm saying like there's levels to it. Because like, was it this like one thing?
He kissed her and then they went like this.
Yeah. But like if that was an affair... Oh. And then he thought that, I would be like, that's different.
It took you a little bit longer to get there, babe.
How long were we doing this?
Right.
So
nuance.
Anyway, nuances.
Cheating. We'll always circle back to it.
We love talking about it.
Oh my god.
Anyway, I have nothing else to say, but
no.
Being in one of those types of relationships is extremely isolating, and I wish that on no one. And if you're at all feeling like you can't talk to anybody about things that are happening to you, I understand where you're coming from completely. Mm-hmm. I still want you to reach out in some form to someone else, because you, most of all, don't deserve to be alone in this. Like, it's not just your problem to deal with, although someone else is making you feel that way.
It also doesn't have to be reaching out with your problems.
No,
you could be reaching out and say, hey, things have been kind of hard lately. I miss you. Like, your company, like, your energy is so good. Like, I just want to be around good energy. And if they ask, you can just be like, honestly, I don't want to talk about it, but, like, just being around you feels good. And someone will understand, I hope, in your life.
I think you just need to get outside of the bubble of what you're feeling right now to get perspective in general of what you want to do next, or what's happening, you know? Getting outside of the bubble is the most important part and piece of it. And you deserve literal peace and happiness and the most respectful, I don't know, like, reciprocation. And if you're not getting that, I wish differently for you. Sending you love, and I'm sorry if that's something you're going through. But
and I'm sorry if that's something you ever went through. Period.
That too.
And I'm happy that you're
out of it,
out and having a fresh experience without that person. And also, like you said, it's not always the circumstances that we were in. Sometimes you're just not compatible and you feel lonely, and you leave, and that's great. Also, still a really shitty experience to feel alone.
Absolutely.
When you should be, in society's eyes, the happiest you've ever been. When are you getting married? When are you doing this? Blah, 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 whatever. Yeah. All these, pressures. And it's okay to take a pause. Take a beat.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
That's it. That's all we got for today's episode. Catch us in Glowing Hour, though, on Friday. And we just want to thank you for being here. Go ahead and rate our podcast. Leave us a little cute review. Go follow us on Instagram or TikTok. And yeah, just keep listening to these guys. We are so close to 10K downloads, and we're so excited. But yeah, we'll catch you on